Retro Rob plays everything.
Hey there, real gamers and gatekeepers, Retro Rob here, and it's time for my room tour. That's right, it's the one I've been putting off for a long time because I keep thinking I'm gonna get done with this room eventually, but it's just not gonna happen. I've been so busy lately, just in my personal life, and I feel kind of bad because I missed the Sunday live stream just due to, I was helping a family member out with one of their arcade machines. Got busy with that and then, just kind of blew it off. So I'm gonna give you the room tour that I've been promising, and it's not gonna be real long, I don't think. It should be pretty quick because it's a small room. So let's get going. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna show you is, this is what I'm staring at when I'm recording a lot of my videos. This is my Alienware laptop right here with its Technoglow keyboard. I just made that up. I made that name up. I don't think there's any such thing as a Technoglow keyboard. Interesting things is I do keep a dock here, and this is a USB-C dock that allows me to change it out for the Mac at will when I feel like it. I have my 3 Space Invaders watching me. HD60S, that's what I use for doing, like recording off of any of the handheld devices or any of the game systems. There's my camera, it's 4K, not that I ever use it that way. And my skull, there's my skull. Then there's my mouse. Yeah, super exciting, I know. Oh yeah, one thing I failed to mention, if you go off to the left over here, this is my favorite album of all time, Peter Tosh's No Nuclear War, and it's encased forever. I don't have a record player, so it's not like I'm going to be playing it anytime soon. Of course, I've got an MP3, Let's see, if I'm doing green screen, there's the hooks for it. I don't know how exciting any of this is, but I do decorative hooks so it doesn't look like crap. Great, there we go. So it doesn't look crappy when I'm not doing anything, so that's not a huge deal to me. All right, let's go look at some game stuff. First section here is where I keep all my handhelds now. And it goes all the way down here. To the left and to the right, you can see some of my spare consoles. I actually have a huge stack of spare consoles that are in cases that I use for shows and stuff. Those aren't shown here because they're out in storage right now. Anyway, let's see. My first handheld ever, by the way, the Mini Vid Break Free. Got the Sega Nomad, so sorry about the lights. Atari Lynx, and the Game Gear. One of the ones I really want to get is, of course, Turbografx portable handheld, which I don't have. I'm hoping to get it this year at MGC. We'll see how that goes. And this is where I store a bunch of the boxed stuff. Most of the stuff is actually in there with the exception of the RG series stuff. Oh, and this guy here, the Little Game King, or LGK, Little Dragon King, sorry, the LDK. What's wrong with me? Let's see. Some of my favorite handhelds. This is the RG351, which I've actually been using quite a bit. And I'll be probably doing a video on that. I hadn't planned to do any more videos on this series, but come to find out, I'm really enjoying that thing now. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit in the future. Here is, where are you? Hey, it's out and about. It's out and about, but this is my Evercade collection. Right now it's complete as of right this second, but in a few days I think they're going to be releasing another game. But I've got those pre-ordered, so they'll eventually show up. Game Boy Color, and this one's backlit, so I did mod this one. I think I did a video or two on how I modded it. It's got a lot of mods on it. Pretty cool. It's got a lot of mods on it. Next layer, got a few of my other favorites. This is a Clockwork Pi, love that one. Got the little Nintendo over there, the little actual Nintendo handheld. And the Ardu Boy. I got a new Ardu Boy coming, by the way. I'll be doing a video. Down below here, we've got the Little Dragon King and all those like My Arcade handhelds. Little Dragon King is still one of my favorites of all time. It is very likely to be in my pocket when I'm traveling. And then I got some other junk in here. I keep stuff in here, like cables and other miscellaneous explins. And then I keep my books hidden down here. Shh. I hid them behind an Xbox controller. Great stuff. And, oh hey, this guy right here, I'm gonna turn it sideways, look at that, so you can look at it. I don't think I've ever done a video on this. I'm gonna have to do one of these days. That's my game box. You know, it's basically a Pandora's box. I bring it to MGC every year, and it gets beat up every year at MGC. Great stuff. I don't know if I can get the whole couch in, but there is a couch in here now. That was never here before. Like I said, I changed the layout quite a bit to make it a little bit more friendly to actually gaming. It does take up, like, here, look, it takes up a lot of room though, and it's a very small couch. This is not a very big room. It's tall, but it's really small. All right, did a video on this guy already. Actually, I did a video on almost everything here. And this is just where I put like my driving controllers and anything unusual that I have. And they're just a couple of those, you know, cheap boxes that you can get at Menards. Alrighty then, across the top, I mostly keep empty boxes up here, but that video pinball actually has a game in it. A couple of these controllers are actually inside the boxes. You can see there's way up there, you can just see peeking over a 7800 box. There's my Virtual Boy, which I made out of the carcasses of several other Virtual Boys. So that one's basically a refurb job. That Virtua Stick's in there. The Elitist is in there right now, but often it isn't. Going down here is the Sega section. There's some Genesis in here. I keep any loose cartridges for Sega in here. I think these are all Game Gear games in there. And going down a little bit more, some 32X, a little bit of Saturn. Most of these are all original games, but I did end up getting boxes for some of them, repro boxes for them. And there is my Dreamcast collection. What's the best Dreamcast game? All of them. Next we have a bit of Turbografx. There is some Commodore 64 cartridges just hanging out there. And then I've got my Vectrex collection over here. This area right here is going to expand into here. This has got some old PC games that I just keep laying around. A couple Commodore 64 games are in here too. If you look there, Seven Cities of Gold is there, which is totally politically incorrect now. And it was pretty I can't believe I just can't believe that game ever got made now, but you wouldn't try it now, I'll tell you that. PS Vita collection, I'm always adding to my PlayStation Vita collection. That's going to keep going till this area is completely full. The PSP, which I'm always adding to as well, running out of room for it now. And one of my larger collections is down here. That is my original PlayStation collection. And there's a lot of highlights in this. I actually got a lot of pretty decent games for this. I enjoy the PlayStation quite a bit. It's probably the newest of the game systems that I shouldn't say that. The Dreamcast is probably the newest of them, but it's one of the newer ones that I still collect for. Going across the top here, we've got 3DS, and it goes into some Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games. Inside this box, I keep a bunch of my loose Game Boy and Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games. Sorry about this N64 collection. I haven't done a really great job of making that look good. I'm working on it. And then down here, oh, man, I don't see that big glare that's in the camera right now. There we go. Is that better? There we go. Okay, so this is my Nintendo and Famicom stuff. I'm going to go down a little bit more. And there's some more Famicom stuff. Those of you who were into this channel early know that I did a whole lot of Famicom videos. Here's my Famicom Disk System stuff. Did quite a few of those. Going down here, we've got Super Nintendo. And then box Super Nintendo. And then down here, finally, we've got the GameCube, which I still play. Let's go look at the next row. Just to get an idea of where everything is, this is where the Nintendo stuff is that I just went over. And now we're going to take a look at Intellivision. So here's my Intellivision and ColecoVision collection. I did reorganize this stuff to put more of a focus on 8 and 16-bit games. Even though there is other stuff in here, I really wanted the focus to be on the older stuff, which I really just seem to enjoy a lot. And here's some Atari. Start of the Atari row. Some Jaguar stuff. And then I got some Zegs games. Most of those have the games in them. Some of them don't, though. I think Star Raiders 2 is empty and Crossbow. And then there is my Atari Lynx stuff. Why is Kung Fu out? I don't know. Oh, Uno cart. That actually should be over there by the Zegs stuff. That's for my XEGS. I'm going to move that. Then going down here, there's my Atari row. But that's not enough, because there's another row of Atari. And there's still room for more. There we go. Then on the bottom here, got another row of Atari games. And again, I've still got room for more Atari. I've always got room for more Atari stuff because I love it. Alright, there's my TV and my console collection. This is not complete. As I said, I've got a lot in storage. One thing I am probably going to bring back out is the PCFX. I don't particularly like the console. There's really no games I want to play on it. But it is an interesting piece of history, so I thought I would probably bring that one out. Anyway, let's go over these a little bit closer. Alright, Atari 2600. That's the first model of 2600 I've ever had. It's not the actual one, but it's the first model. Atari 5200. This one has working centering controllers, which is kind of rare. My 7800, usually used for Sorry Atari. Atari Jaguar. Not used for much, to be honest. Here's the XEGS, which I honestly don't use that often. I'm not sure whether I'm gonna put something else in this spot or not, but I really like the looks of it. It's really very 80s. Down here's PlayStation and my Xbox, which originally I kicked out, but I brought it back. It's hacked, so it's got a bunch of games on the hard drive. So, oh, and it's got a bunch of movies as well. So it's pretty useful for entertainment. It's not hooked up right now, though. And then we've got Commodore 64, my first computer ever. Love that thing. My Sega CD, yeah, with 32X, it's kind of a mess right now. These are not hooked up yet. These four down here are not hooked up. The C64 is. And then there's the Sega Saturn and my Hello Kitty Dreamcast, which I've done videos on before. I'll have to do a new one of these days, because that's a really dated film. Next, we've got the ColecoVision, the Vectrex. Been doing videos on this one lately. We'll be doing some more. My Intellivision 2. I also have an original Intellivision. Turbografx 16. And then here's my Famicom, Super Famicom, Doom Dude, GameCube, and my Pikachu N64. All these are hooked up. This side's all hooked up. Speaking of hooked up, by the way, here's my Retro Rob sign, which my friend Tom made for me. Pretty darn cool, right? It does light up in the dark, although I don't have it plugged in right now because it's kind of faint. But I absolutely love this thing. I think it looks great in this room. I should mention the Atari VCS. I do play it actually quite a bit. I've been playing a lot of Thrustlander, which is freaking great on it. Wish they'd come out with some more games, but you know, it is what it is. Next, we've got the Extron. And what this does is all these machines that have AV out, all these, except the ones without AV out, they hook into the Extron, and I basically can punch this, and that will say, hey, console 4 goes out to video, and it's just in order. So let's see, this one's got AV out, so that'd be, I think it's 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then that one gets skipped because it doesn't have AV out. You get the idea. And most of them are actually hooked up that way right now. They're just not ready to go yet. Last thing I've got is this Archer amplified video selector. This is for the consoles that only have RF out. They basically plug into the back of this guy, and then I can select between them. This can handle 5 different game systems, so it's pretty cool. It's the only one that I found that's large enough to handle all my stuff, to be honest. So yeah, pretty exciting. I think that's about it. And that wraps it up for my room tour for 2021. I suppose you're wondering where the Switch games are, and they're in my bedroom because that's where I play it most of the time. That said, I'm thinking about putting another rack over here next to good old Peter Tosh, and possibly putting the Switch stuff there and then mounting the Switch over here. And we'll see how that goes. If I add it, I'll do an update about it. If you have any questions about anything that's in my collection, want to know more about them, let me know in the comments down below. I want to thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in a couple days. Bye.